Afternoon now. Started in the morning and now in the afternoon. Good afternoon to all of you. You have so much of voice, so let's have another 1 hour because lunch getting delayed. But let's have 1 hour on. It's a very, very important subject. This was on my request. I would like to thank Director LBSNAA and the Post Director Mr. Shanker to get this course. I will get this one session with you because I wanted to learn from you all and share with you the making of an IAS officer for Amrit Kaal. It is so much important. In fact, I have seen so many things here. I'm coming after say around 2.5 years to this academy. So many things. Already a lot of things are happening for shaping the IAS officers to become relevant material, relevant resources for Amrit Kaal. What is Amrit Kaal? This is Amrit Kaal. This came first time to the Honorable Prime Minister's address to the nation from the ramparts of Red Fort on 15th August 2022, almost a year back, when he said the dawn has arrived and we are on path to make this nation a developed nation. When by 2047, when we are going to celebrate the 100th anniversary of the Indian independence, this nation will be a developed country. What is a developed country? I did not explain to you because as an aspirant of civil services, you must have read it not once but many times. You must be knowing about what makes a country a developed country. Only country which has turned into developed nation in the last few decades, only country which has become a developed nation in the last few decades is South Korea. South Korea is, city nation like Singapore, I don't consider that a full country, it is a city nation. It's all city, it is completely city. It's like saying that Delhi becomes a developed city. But a nation like South Korea is one example which has become a developed nation in the last few years. Last, say, 3-4 decades. And the journey started when General Park took over as the dictator in the 70s. Until he relinquished, after 20 years, things were completely transformed. And I had privilege of being to the South Korea many times in my different capacities. The last one was when I was Joint Secretary Mines. And I had gone there to receive a ship, the most modern exploration ship for the Indian Ocean and the Bay of Bengal this country has. How do you explore our wealth, mineral wealth in the sea? So we have this most modern ship, and when I had gone to receive this ship as a Joint Secretary, the Minister of Mines, I was so much astonished to see that you can't pick even a single thing where there's something wrong has gone. It was completely errorless. As is such a fantastic work they had done, whether it was on the technology or the exploration, whether it was on the ship, on the various systems of the ship. I spent almost 4 or 5 days. I was so much happy to see this, and I requested the general manager that what is that which has made you work like this? Because when we have something produced, you will find something wrong somewhere or other. I would like to visit your family. He was happy and he hosted me in the family for lunch. And he shared with me his story, how this transformation has come. South Korea, whose products were not acceptable in the market, in fact, पहले कहते थे कि South Korea का माल तो South Korea, Singapore का माल सबसे घटिया होता, because we were far better than them. South Korea's economy was lower than our economy. Their per capita income was lower than our per capita. But how did this transformation happen? Says comes the General Park. He was the general of the army. He took over a lot of corruption, all the news which you see in the newspapers, that all those things were there. And in that kind of situation, he took over. And from there, he was a benevolent dictator who will think for the country, who wanted to take the country to a different level. And you see, everywhere, whether it was, say, northeast, north to south and east to west, the corridor, connectivity, or manufacturing. You should take people who will be contributing towards manufacturing, whether shipping or electronics or power systems or automobiles. Think of anything, and South Korea is one of the major contributors to that. You used to take them, as a head of the state, you used to take to the different, say, Germany, US, Canada, different places, and you would like to get them learn the best. Made English education as compulsory. Made 6 days of working. And various transformations, various changes he did, and all those changes were with a heavy hand because he was a dictator. After 10 years, he fought election and he was elected as the president of South Korea as almost with 99% of all the vote. Because people were very happy. They were seeing the transformation in the life. So the government servants had difficulty. And he continued the first election, he won. The second election, he won again 99-98%. Third election, unfortunately, he lost his life. Somebody shot him. On a very personal thing, he was shot dead. But he changed the complete transformation. And South Korea today, having its per capita income close to that of the highest top few nations in the world, having the manufacturing ability, whether the society, having the various things to learn from them. And now this country's, our Honorable Prime Minister, with this democratic system where everybody is ready to criticize, everybody is there to comment on things, and he's taking, and the kind of transformation you have seen in the last 9 years. This is making things ready for the future journey of the next 25 years. And I'm very confident, having worked with him for 7.5 years, that this Viksit Bharat will come not in 2044, much earlier than that. That is the kind of transformation the country is facing, and you are going to be the vehicle for that. You are the one who will see all these 25 years. And those in the elder age, you do not know we have a life for the next 25 years or not. But all of you, this 180 plus civil servants, you are going to see this. So your responsibility is to make sure this vision of the Honorable Prime Minister, when you are responsible for a subdivision, can your subdivision take a path of the developed nation? Can your subdivision become a developed subdivision? When you become a charge of the district magistrate, can your district become a developed district? Developed district means in terms of infrastructure, in terms of engaging with people, in terms of making changes in the quality of life of the people, in terms of economic activities, in all other spheres. Making your district, or when you become a divisional commissioner, can your division become a developed division? What is that you can contribute to the responsibility of the state government? How things can take that path? This is something possible. When a country becomes nation, you just heard Honorable Chief Minister. There is so much of disparity in the country. All the parts of the country are not at the same level. But can you take your area, align with the national level? If the country become developed, doesn't mean that every part of the country will become developed. But can your area become developed? That is the kind of responsibility. If you start thinking on those lines, you will come out with such strategies, policies, programs, implementation, which will make these things happen. So what is a developed nation? This is quality of life. How can we transform the quality of life of the people? How can we provide opportunity for all? This is like somebody doing a business, ease of doing business. When you say the quality of life, ease of living. You want to get your child educated, you want to get the health services. And for every citizen, not you. As a civil servant, you will find that you are always privileged. Your things will happen like this. But you are not representing the common man. And the common man access to the schooling system, health system, entertainment system, economic activities, livelihood, everywhere can they be accessed as The Honorable Chief Minister mentioned, if you can cover a district from the headquarters in 4 hours to 5 hours, then every part of the country will have access to the district in 4 to 5 hours. Like, I'll just give you example of Uttar Pradesh. Uttar Pradesh, you see the eastern UP, Purvanchal, if you those who know about Purvanchal, I come from Purvanchal. Purvanchal is the most backward area. Bundelkhand, most backward area. Two things have transformed. You see, when we had this Global Investor Summit in the February, you must have read it in the newspaper or seen it in the electronic or digital media. When we had this 35 lakhs crore investment signed, almost 10 lakhs crore came for Purvanchal. Nearly 5 lakhs crore came for Bundelkhand. It was unthinkable few years back. What has made the difference? The Purvanchal Expressway. Now you can come from Delhi to I go from my state headquarters to my village less than 4 hours. And from Lucknow to Delhi, maybe in 5 hours. Delhi to Purvanchal, every area is connected. From Bundelkhand, just 6 hours, Bundelkhand Expressway. This makes a big difference, the infrastructure. So can this happen? This is the opportunities for all. Now we have got so many airports in the, even places like Azimgad is coming with the airport. Bareilly has got the airport. So many we have got in the state of Uttar Pradesh. We already have 9 airports working. 2 are international airport. In next couple of years, we are going to have 5 more. We will have total 5 international airports in Uttar Pradesh. And this is not only Uttar Pradesh, everywhere across the country, and we are going to be responsible for it. Private sector participation. Private sector has a huge capacity to invest. How you can engage with it? I was very happy to see, I'm just coming from this one presentation. The private sector people are coming and they're doing, it's a Team India. This transformation will develop within the Team India. What is that? How you can, you don't have the government and the non-government. It's all Team India. How everybody can contribute, public-private partnership. Economic structures. The country is going to, is such a huge economic transformation. How this can be done, you have to work on this. And for this, a framework has been given by the Honorable Prime Minister. This was done by your Director LBSNAA Srinivasan has played a very, very important role in conceptualizing the idea of the Honorable Prime Minister in terms of civil servant becoming Karma Yogi. A Karma Yogi, you have to become Karma Yogi for the next 25 years to take the nation to this vision of the developed nation, this Amrit Kaal. You have to be proactive. You don't have to react. Normally, the folk, an understanding of the public servant was the status quo is what is happening, let it happen. Let my tenure pass. Let there be no controversy in my tenure. Can you now think in terms of being proactively changing the place where you are going, governing, we are going to be right on the top as a subdivision mentioned. Can you take that if there is a difficulty in various things? Jal Jeevan Mission, providing water to every household. The Swachh Bharat Mission, making sure sanitation level of the highest order. Can you do that? This is what you have to become proactive and polite. You are under observation everywhere. You just can't be the old days bureaucrats of, they are all bygone days. That you think that you have become so powerful, you can do anything. No. You have to be polite, nice. I saw that Sheelam Bhushanam. Sheelam Param Bhushanam. I saw that. The shield, being your politeness is your very, very good quality. And with that, you can really perform. A professional and a progressive. You have to be professional. You need to understand things. You need to know things. Know things in, really in, you see that like a surgeon. Like a surgeon understands things so much in detail. That's why he is able to do the precision surgery. As a civil servant, for the social order, you need to understand things. You need to see that whether you are leading water mission, you are leading technology mission, or whatever it is. You have to understand things so much in depth, and at the same time, you have to be progressive. Think of What is the best? You heard the Honorable Chief Minister saying that you have to be innovative. You are innovative. What is the new changes you have brought? How you have, the same thing can be done in n number of ways. What is that which is making it, the acceptability to the people becomes better? What will make it more affordable? What will give it a sustainability? When you start thinking in terms of these three things, because ultimately we are all working through, for the public. So it is acceptable to the people. They adopt it. It is affordable. The costs are very, very important. We are not a rich country. We are not, a dollar making country. So we have to give the best cost. And that we have done. Whether it was COVID or anywhere, the kind of cost which we incurred, compare it with any part of the world, much less, better performance. That's affordability. The sustainability, how things can sustain, continue. You leave and the things stop. No, that should not be there. Energetic and enabling. Your level of energy, you are doing the physical exercises, keeping your energy level should be of the highest order. You should be inspiration for others. At the same time, enabling things to happen. Making things to happen. We play the role of enablers in the public system. Transparent and tech enabled. That is very, very important. Making system transparent. Making things, now open access. It is open to everybody. Everybody can see what you are doing, how you are doing. And for that being tech savvy. Because technology is something through which you can address the issues of anything. As I mentioned to you in, say, when I took up the responsibility of constructing more than 1 crore of houses, how that was possible? In the past, it was not possible. But today, with the kind of technology, everything I could see on the dashboard. I could directly interact with, if you happen to go to Delhi, if you go to this Ministry of Urban Development, we created such a big a platform from which I could visualize the whole country. We can experiment on the whole country. See things, what's happening where. So this use of technology is the most important thing. How you can innovatively address the issues. This use of technology. You may say that I am an arts graduate. I did my English literature honors. How do I get connected with technology? Nobody is asking you to get to that technology. You should know what will work where. You need to know the tool. You will engage with people who will do this for you. You are English honors doesn't mean that you are handicapped. You have another strength, various other strength. But how to, any question, how that can be answered. You should know which tool, where to use, how to use, what is working where, keeping, the national perspective, international perspective. Something has worked somewhere. I give an example. We keep going to the different countries and we have a lot of learnings are there. See, earlier you have heard of STP, sewer treatment plant, and the sewer network. That's what the country had been doing for the last many years. But we saw in various countries they have got FSSTP, fecal sludge and septic management, because they have to have a solution. Like you have earlier we had all a connected network of telephony. Then we had the mobile phone. So this FSSTP, you collect the sludge, transport it safely, and treat it somewhere. The cost comes just 5% of our regular STP and the sewer system. In 5% you will address to many things. And this, in 2017, we developed a platform, the standards. And today, large number of cities, especially the smaller cities, they are addressing the issue of the fecal sludge, this wastewater through the FSSTP. The whole thing, if you go to any state, ask for it, you will find that the most outside, the bigger cities in the outside area, where the population is not much, or in the smaller towns, they are going for FSSTP. So you need to open up, keep on learning on the technology. It doesn't require you to have an IIT degree. Once you have this, you keep your eyes open. When you are visiting any place, see something. Can we do something for our place? Imaginative and innovative. I don't need to elaborate. I mean, this has been elaborated a lot in the morning session by Honorable Chief Minister. Creative and constructive. Keep on generating. These are the qualities of a Karma Yogi, and you are going to be the Karma Yogi for the next 25 years and henceforth. The challenges. I mean, this is not so simple. The challenges are plenty. You will find the expectations of the people are growing up. Uncertainties are galore. Now, everybody will go to the village, they will expect many things. Go to the town. I mean, this is the aspirational India. The new India is aspirational India, which is thinking of reaching to the moon at the shortest possible time. This is, I mean, and we have made it happen also. This is the way our Mars mission or the moon mission was there. So this aspirational India is thinking of a big thing. Now the young guys, they want to play with things, new technologies, the access to the, the information system. So expectations are uncertainty. This is between you work. The silos. I mean, you will find that the same, your own colleague, your own batchmate, he doesn't want to share information. These silos have been broken by the technology now. There are a lot of things are now talking to each other. How you can desilification of our systems. More and more desilification, because ultimately it is addressing the issues of individuals, the citizens. But we see things from different angles. It's like a hathi ke alag-alag ang ko alag-alag tarike se dekhenge. And somebody says something, somebody says six blind people seeing the elephant in 6 different ways. So how you can make this system decent? Proper leveraging, the technology or something, what is available today. The barriers to exchange of knowledge, collaboration. Collaboration is so much important. And there are a lot of barriers you will face. These are the contexts today which you work. Lifelong and continuous learning. This is one thing which I learned from Steve Jobs, the famous convocation speech. Have you heard that? Have you heard that? Stanford University. What he said? Stay hungry. Stay foolish. Let me stay hungry, let me stay foolish all my life, so that I will always keep learning. That's what I will say. I will pray for you. You continue to be foolish and hungry. If you are foolish, you will always think of learning something more. And the moment you say that, अब तो हम निर्वाण प्राप्त कर लिए, because IAS की service में आ गए. IAS की service तो this is the last thing I have cracked. You will start decaying, and it doesn't take much time to decay. You have reached to the high peak. From the peak, very less time to decay. You remain foolish and remain hungry. You will continue growing. You will take different heights. So you need to improve your skills. You have to be future ready. What is future ready? Ease of living. When you say ease of living, there are many things which constitute ease of living. I will ask you to do some exercise on the ease of living. Whether it is reducing the decriminalization, or making things happening slow, simple. Making, your life, whether it is all those things which people face in life as a citizen, you have to simulate. One of the ideas which Honorable Prime Minister gave in the last Chief Minister's conference, Chief Secretary's conference, recently in Delhi, he said that you ask your officer to simulate, to become a common man, and see that how things happen for somebody who, say somebody is applying for, he wants to start his garment factory. How he will get his garment factory? Start writing. You will find that you don't even know. And when it comes to getting the approvals, you have 10 queries. So we start simulating, understanding things to bring ease in living and ease of doing business. And the focus is that of the citizen centricity. In fact, I wanted to share with you in the previous session. I had an opportunity to meet with Yen Gel, one of the very renowned urban planner. in Copenhagen, and he gave me a book, Cities Are for the People. It's a fantastic book which I read. Cities are for the people. Cities are not for the administrator, not for the mayor, not for the councillor. This is for the people. Cities have to be made for the people to make sure that the citizens have least botheration in carrying out their things and realizing their potential. Once you have that kind of citizen centricity, you will find that things become very, very different. A mix of competencies. You have to keep on building your competency, keep on improving. At the next slide, I'm going to go there. This is India's aspirations, the local priorities and the national aspirations. How these three things could be matched. Accountability and transparency, and the last is impact. Ultimately, what matters is the result, and the result. You may say anything, you may create any kind of a book, document, papers, presentations. It doesn't matter. It doesn't change people's life. What matters is the result. You have to focus on what will give you the best result. And the result which is sustainable, affordable, and citizen-centric. So this is the most important thing. The hierarchy of goals must be reminding you of something. Hierarchy of goals for Maslow's. Now for a civil servant. The first is the task. You are right at the bottom. Your job to deliver certain tasks. But as you grow, you have to be professional growth. You should also focus on building some professional skills. Then your own personal progress, get into some areas. Whether it is urban or water or environment or anything, keep on building your skills. Maybe it may be because your posting or transfers, your career path is not under your control. But when you develop your skills, it may be useful somewhere. Somebody asked me a question, what do you learn from outside when you go for doing MBA? Many things. When you do MBA outside, you learn from the society, you learn from the various other things apart from your education. When you are here also, you are learning so many things apart from your what education is. Your recognition, esteem and recognition. And the last thing is ultimately realize yourself. You are all public servants. You are born as a public servant. Honorable Prime Minister, in addressing one of the assistant secretaries, like you will all be assistant secretaries in Government of India, in one of your addresses he mentioned, you are not in any employment. Some of you had been in employment prior to coming here in the IAS. Employment and service is different, absolutely different. The service is, your self is gone. There is no self. You are meant for the others. It requires so much of sacrifice. But the kind of order, the kind of respect you get, the kind of your own personal satisfaction you get is tremendous. So this service, public servant, putting the self before anything, putting yourself behind everything else. It is the citizen whose life is to be changed. How you can do that? Or making the nation first, what you can do for changing the nation. The citizen centricity, I have tried to just put few words on this. One is the impact which I mentioned, that is the impact which you do. The ability to deliver the government's public welfare agenda. I don't need to elaborate that. Technology and integrity is the most important. People are under illusion. They think that even if I do something, people do not know. It is in everybody's knowledge. You create your path, you create your domain, you create your imprint. Your reputation moves faster than you. When you move from a district to a district, people know what kind of person you are. Are you, can you be compromised? Not, and political law, everybody knows about it. So integrity means what you say, you mean. There is no personal, I'm not doing anything for myself. I'm doing it for the nation or for the people. The administration of the modern times which you require, the innovation, I don't need to elaborate. Technology, I don't need to elaborate. Make in India. This is the focus given by Honorable Prime Minister. Make in India, make for the world. I mean, not at your stage, but as you proceed further, at least you can engage. If you suppose, I go to the district, I check from my district collector, there is a temple. How much of the goods which are being used by the temple is being manufactured or produced in your own district? How much is coming from outside other districts of the state? How much of it is coming from outside other states? If you just start seeing this, you will find that, and do the 80-20 analysis, you will find a lot of work you can do in your district so that you can cater to the requirement of this temple itself or any activity. So similarly, Make in India. I mean, what is that we can, I can give you hundreds of examples. Make in India, whether it is in the metro sector or any other sector. So many things. The country is seeing that change, but it's still a long journey to go. If the focus is how we can make in India and make for the world. Inclusivity, inclusive development, making every citizen, poor or rich or anybody, I mean people who have got economic certification, caste certification, everybody being part of the development story. That is that making Team India. Every segment of the society being part of the development story. That should be a focus. If you have that, if you start seeing like this, you will find that things are going to change. The core values and the principles. The challenge-based approach. This was my great learning from Honorable Prime Minister. You see, challenge, when he used to say in the beginning, we did not understand. But now I understand. When you challenge people, they perform their best. When they challenge cities, they perform their best. When you challenge the states, they perform their best. Now nothing goes, earlier administration in the civil services, what you used to do, you will divide your resources in terms of who is the most poor, where is the maximum requirement, whether they use it or they don't use it. Now things are changing. If you want a medical college, you want an engineering college, you want a university, or you want some resources. Recently, the recent challenge was on the PM Mitra, under the PM Mitra scheme textile park. And the 7 states were selected. They were announced by the Honorable Prime Minister. 7 states were selected. All states participated. 7 states were selected on the parameters of the challenge. See, now the states will make a difference. Our state, Uttar Pradesh, has already selected, and the process has just begun with our Minister of Commerce, Mr. Piyush Goyal, launching that. The MOU was signed between the central government and the state government, how to move forward. Everything is under the challenge system. And that you should learn how to challenge others so that they perform their best. Citizens' engagement. This is another big learning I had from the Honorable Prime Minister. When he was saying in 2014, we were not able to understand. Because we had done things in a very different way. The citizen engagement, when you engage with citizens, you see all the programs of the urban ministry, whether it was Swachh Bharat Mission, Jan Andolan, Amrit, Smart City Mission, the whole conceptualization was done through the very detailed citizen engagement. And even in performance, even in implementation, citizens are engaged. Because as the young girl says, the cities are for the people. The citizens are the owners of the program. Somebody asked me how your things, something which you do, how will that sustain? Because this was one disease in our service. Earlier, it used to be like, or even today, you will find that once you go, the new person comes, he finds that his ideas are the best. The person who has gone, whose ideas are not of that standard, which he would like to see the place where he is going to work. And there, if you engage with the citizens, engage with the people, if they are the stakeholders of your development, whether you are making a road, water supply or electricity or whatever, you will find that they are going to be your proponents. They are going to be your pushers for that kind of a change which you thought of, and that becomes sustainable. When you do the citizen engagement, you will find your development is going to be sustainable. 360-degree review. This is another learning I had. When you see things only from one angle or two angles, the 6 blind man story, you only see part of it. When you see 360-degree, you see the whole thing. And when you conceptualize that, maybe you have got all kinds of possible future problems. Sustainability, I have talked, climate resilience is becoming more and more important. What you are doing, how you are going to damage the climate. The country has now undertaken through COP26 to go for zero emission by 2017. And we are moving on that path, whether it is in terms of energy or whether in terms of our automobiles or whether in terms of our planning and construction activity. Many things have changed in the last few years, but lot to go. There's a miles to go. That miles to go, your focus on this climate resilience, your focus on uses of resources in the most optimal manner, your focus on making the best use of the resources so that we are not resource deprived. Gandhiji said, the nature has given you enough to satisfy your need, but not to satisfy your greed. When you become greedy, you are losing, ultimately you are losing. So this is climate resilience and the disaster resilience. When you see this now disaster, the whole, in fact I have written an article on it. I had gone to Japan for something, and when there was a lot of learning from there, I compared with how Japan turned. You may be knowing about the story of Japanese devastation in the Second World War and how they came back. The country was completely devastated. When I went to this Tokyo Tower and saw the film, it was a great learning for me. One man, one gentleman, I have written an article, you can search for my article. There is one gentleman, he decided to engage with the people and created this tower. And tower means pride. Tower means it was the tallest tower of that country. Tower means pride. Tower means engaging with so many people. Tower means so much of steel. Tower means so much of activities. People were, even a city of Tokyo, 1 million people were killed during the Second World War, which I didn't know. When I saw that film, then I started comparing with this my country. How many such disasters came, and it just went as if nothing happened. Earlier the disasters were coming and then hundreds of people with life were lost. So when I went there this was intergovernmental discussion. 3 days before, I'm just forgetting the name of that big storm which had come. I think few lives were gone in Tokyo, but there was a lot of devastation. I called them, called the Indian ambassador in Tokyo, whether I should come or not come, cancel my trip. He said no. Let me check, and he said please come. Only change, my counterpart was not there, somebody else from that ministry was there. But everything happened as if nothing has gone. And country is moving towards that kind of our country, the way disaster works are going on disaster. That is the path which we are taking. And we all need to, because you say, this is all the disaster management authority. No. You as a sub-division magistrate, you as a district magistrate, your responsibility to see disaster preparedness, various aspects. So that in the state of Uttar Pradesh, we used to lose so much through the flooding. But today that has really gone down because there has been conscious effort in the last 5-6 years to address those flooding problems so that the farmers' fields are not devastated. Life is not gone, whether it is animal or human being. There's a lot of changes can come. There's so much of work has been done. But yet, as I said, miles to go. And you are the future Amrit Kaal administrators. Citizens at core. This is the last slide which I have seen. This is citizens at core. All inclusive. Citizens, that's what matters. Your efficiency and effectiveness in governance, that's what matters. You need to really be with the citizens. That's the Amrit Kaal citizens. That's my way of thinking things. And I can give you hundreds of examples how things are happened. This is what I expect all of you, and I wish you to be all foolish and all hungry. All your periods you work as a public servant. Thank you. Now we have got around 20 minutes. So I invite you questions on urban as well as on this or anything else. You see, this is my 40th year in the public service. So with so much of experience in the state, center, as well as even outside the country. I'm happy to answer you. Thank you. Yes. Can you kindly introduce yourself?
So my name is Anand Malhotra.
Anand Malhotra.
Anand. And I'm going to do a family cadet. So my question is regarding, you had mentioned about ideas and innovation. But again, there's a repeated theme. We hear speakers, we see so many innovations happening in different parts of the states. Sometimes it appears that there is no one common thread, and a lot of time it feels that it's piecemeal. One officer does it, he moves out, and then maybe that innovation is not sustained. So my questions are: A, generally, what are as a young officer, what resources should we look to if we are going to a district so that we have the full spectrum of those innovations? And also, secondly, sir, how do we make these innovations sustainable, that they are carried on by other officers who come in our place?
Yes, go ahead. Next. Yes.
Sir, I am Shubham and
When I said you need to be hungry all your service, doesn't mean that you have to lose your lunch. So don't focus too much on lunch. Be hungry. Continue to being hungry, and if you have any queries, don't stop. The lunch may come even after 10 minutes, 20 minutes. There is no worry. Yes, go ahead.
sir, it has been seen that sir, I am Shubham Paisare.
Shubham.
I am going to Rajasthan Kata, sir. Sir, it has been seen that in many of the cities there is horizontal growth rather than the vertical growth. But in many countries like Singapore, we have seen that when there is high FSI, the quality of life is much better. So what India is doing, and what is your take on this? Should we promote more horizontal growth or vertical growth?
Yes.
So my name is Tusharan. Sir,
Tushar.
you mentioned that we should stay hungry and stay foolish. In times of difficulty, you must have faced a lack of motivation. How did you remain motivated in those circumstances?
Sir, yes, Tushar, very good. Yeah. Sir, yes, who are they?
On your right.
On your right, yes.
सर मेरा नाम रवि सिहाग है, मैं मध्य प्रदेश का जा रहा हूँ.
Ravi
सिहाग.
Yes, go ahead, Ravi.
सर मेरा प्रश्न है कि जैसे अर्बन डेवलपमेंट में बहुत सारे मॉड्यूल हुए, एक हफ्ते से क्लासेस चल रही है और अभी भी भारत की 70% जनसंख्या गाँव में रह रही है सर. तो ये खुद के दोष हैं कि हम लोग गाँव का अच्छे से विकास नहीं कर पाए. अभी जैसे एकेडमी में क्लासेस हुई तो विलेज पे 2 दिन क्लास हुई, अर्बन पे 6 दिन से चल रही है. तो क्या हम लोग गाँव का डेवलपमेंट नहीं कर पाए, और गाँव का डेवलपमेंट नहीं करने की वजह से जो माइग्रेशन हुआ है वो एक बड़ा कारण है कि शहरों में समस्याएं आ रही है. तो जिस प्रकार से हमारे पूर्व राष्ट्रपति ने कहा था कि गाँव में शहरों जैसी सुविधाएं दो, तो क्या हम उस फोकस से हटके गाँव को थोड़ा इग्नोर करके हम लोग शहरों के विकास की तरफ अग्रसर हो रहे हैं? सर, इस बारे में आपके क्या विचार हैं?
Sure. Yes.
Good afternoon, sir.
Who is that?
So,
Yes.
so my name is Shubham Shukla, and
Shubham Shukla.
Yes, sir. And I'm born in Karnataka, Canada, sir. So, I wanted to ask a very region-specific question. Like, even I am from Purvanchal, Balia in Purvanchal. तो ये बोला जाता है हमारी तरफ कि बलिया एक डूबता हुआ जगह है, इलाका है. मतलब ऐसा है कि it needs a very serious salvaging. So in case we encounter places like बलिया जहाँ पे बहुत ज़्यादा खुद का domestic production नहीं हो रहा है, इनमें सब्जियाँ अगर कोलकाता से आ रही हैं, तो ऐसी जगह अगर हम encounter करें तो as administrators हम क्या कर सकते हैं ताकि काया पलट हो पाए ऐसी जगह की? Thank you.
Yes.
Sir,
Yes.
sir, I am Ayushi.
You are?
Ayushi.
Ayushi. Yes. Yes, go ahead, Ayushi.
Sir, my question is regarding waste management. Sir, like it's important to segregate waste at source point, like. But how can we encourage people that they can segregate waste from their household only, from collection to and all the processing waste based on segregation? So like Swachhta or sanitation has become mass movement, Jan Andolan bana hai. So how can we do this in like for waste segregation?
तो कौन से कैडेट जा रही हो?
Agmut.
Agmut.
It's problem like landfills.
Okay, understood. Got it. Next.
Sir,
Yes.
So my name is Maurya Bharadwaj. I'm from
Your name is?
Maurya Bharadwaj.
Maurya Bharadwaj.
I'm from Andhra Pradesh, Kader. So currently there's a lot of strain on our mega cities, and even today we see any person who wants a decent employment trying to migrate to one of these mega cities. So what is the way out to develop the tier 2 and tier 3 cities and how to attract investments to them? My home state Andhra Pradesh has a lot of tier 2, tier 3 cities, and yet most of the educated youth go to cities like Bangalore or Hyderabad. So how to make them stay there and contribute for the growth of those cities? How to attract investment to those cities?
Yes.
Good afternoon, sir. I'm Amrit and I'm going to Telangana, Canada, sir. So my question is that UP is a very large state, sir. So how do you process so much information in a day, sir, and take your decisions? And how are you so calm, sir?
Okay. Thank you. That's all.
Sir, I am Ashutosh. Sir, you talked about the sustainability of the initiative. So, what factors have to be kept in mind so that whatever initiatives we take, suppose in our district or sub-district, they remain sustainable?
Yes.
सर कई सालों से यूपीएससी में काफी पॉपुलर सवाल रहा है कि यूपी गिवन द लार्ज साइज ऑफ यूपी
आपने बताया नहीं। नाम बताया नहीं।
मेरा नाम रवि कुमार है और मैं झारखंड जा रहा हूँ।
रवि कुमार।
So my question is, should UP be divided into multiple states for better management, and also given the large number of seats that UP has in the parliament, should it be given divided into different parts so that it is balanced out eventually?
You belong to Jharkhand. I'm going to Jharkhand. Both, sir. That's all.
Sir, if you sir.
Oh. Question from the moderator. Yes.
Question here, sir. मैं बस ये कह रहा था कि we will be having lunch after, so if possible, we can take these questions and other queries we can take.
Take it. I'll just close it. I think that's a good idea. Okay, so let me thank all of you who have asked some questions. Thank the rest who have heard all those questions and maybe thinking of shooting some questions, but that was not my, So thank you all. In fact, I think that your hunger will continue and you will keep learning, keep asking many things. When you ask, you learn something new and you kind of improve. Let me start with the UP division. Because Jharkhand, I have a relationship. I did my schooling from Ranchi. If you heard of Vikas Vidyalaya, I did my schooling from Vikas Vidyalaya. So, UP, you think it needs to be divided? This is a debate which is there in the public, but UP is doing tremendously well at this time. I mean, the way things are happening in Uttar Pradesh, take any sector, infrastructure, the largest number, the longest expressways are in Uttar Pradesh. Almost something like 1200 kilometers of expressways are already there. Another 800 kilometer work is on the Ganga Expressway, on Gorakhpur Link Expressway, on Balia Link Expressway, Jhansi Link Expressway. Many works are already under progress. You take in terms of the metro system, the largest number of cities in any state, 5 cities already connected, and many other. The first regional rapid transport is coming in Uttar Pradesh, Delhi to Meerut. Take airports. We are going to the largest number of airports, 5 international airports in the next 2 years. 5 international airports where the flights will land from different parts. The first national waterways, Uttar Pradesh. Recently, you must have heard about the longest journey, the desert trip on the river Ganges. This is all happening in Uttar Pradesh. See the leadership. Leadership matters. Our Honorable Chief Minister, Mr. Yogi Adityanath, the kind of changes in the transformation. If I start talking, I'll talk a lot on what transformation. I can just give one example. I am from Uttar Pradesh, Kader, and I was Additional Secretary in Urban Development. See, I used to come to the state, meet with the then people who are there in the power, and try to plead with them. This Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana को आगे बढ़ाएंगे, this is the vision, ये करना है, ऐसे करना है, ऐसी तरह से करना है. And nothing was happening. 2015 it was, this scheme came and total number of beneficiaries selected were around 17,000 or so. Not a single house is started. And today, I went to Surat to receive the best state award from the Prime Minister. See, this is the difference with the leadership. This is the kind of difference it makes. More than 13 lakhs houses sanctioned, more than 10 lakh already constructed, and all with all kinds of facilities which we have. This is the leadership which makes the difference. So by division, yes, division is good. Administrative division is smaller place is good, but the leadership makes a big difference. That's what has happened of this. I don't think the division is coming in the next maybe a decade or so. This is the way UP is going on. It is doing tremendously good work. Go and research on Uttar Pradesh. You will find in all sectors how things are making a difference. Well, I don't take any tension. I do my work. When you attend to work, there is no tension. The tension is only when you start seeing various other things where that's the focus is. Even as a chief secretary of Uttar Pradesh, you will find, you meet me anytime, even in the night at 9 o'clock, you will find me in the same state of affairs. Because there is no pitch outside. And when there is something which you, when your two things are non-transparent, different, then you are under tension. What is happening on this side, what is happening on this side. See the state and do your best. Put your best. तो जो निष्काम का भाव होता है, जो गीता में आपने पढ़ा होगा, कर्मणि अधिकारस्ते मा फलेषु कदाचन. आप काम करते जाओ, रिजल्ट की चिंता नहीं है, रिजल्ट अपने आप मिलेगा. We have a leader like Yogi Adityanath, he is the chief minister. It's a pleasure to work with this kind of a leader. I mean, it was a great opportunity for me to work with the Prime Minister. I mean, this kind of a vision, his kind of a, innovation, this is a great pleasure. Now I have this kind of thing working with the chief minister. Why should I have it? I am putting my best ability. Whatever I can do, I have satisfied. There is no tension. See, somebody mentioned about everything is good. No, it is not good. You face miseries, you face problems. You are transferred in between. You get to go through the. You are tested. Your guts are tested, but you have to keep your service strong. That is how you will survive. Then people will understand. I can give you examples. There is not much time. I can give you many examples where I faced big troubles. Doesn't matter. Just see it with the unattached. How and you will find it will pass. Like the night and day. This is a cycle. It will continue. It will continue in your life. And mind you, it will continue in the private sector. Mind you, it will continue anywhere. There is no steady life anywhere. The only thing which is steady is dead. When your this ECG, it becomes plain. Wherever there is a life, there is a cycle. Whether it is administrative life, personal life, social life, you take anything, it is always like this. You will face. But develop your guts and have the focus on. You are the administrator of the Amrit Kaal. You can make the difference. If you want, I can give you an example in person. Well, Balia is not so bad, gentlemen. You are from Balia?
Yes, sir.
Balia is now getting a university.
Yes.
Balia, we are working on getting a medical college. Balia, we are going to connect it with the national capital. So this expressway has already come. The expressway is going right up to Balia. Many new things have come up in Balia. You will see this. See, when things were not connected, not well connected, there was not much. When people lose aspirations. You heard Honorable Chief Minister in the morning. He said that many people just take it for granted. That's what they are doomed to. No, this is aspirational India. Aspirational India wants change. Aspirational India wants everything to happen. There is the Amrit Kaal. And even Balia has a lot of future. You see, a lot of investment is going to come. You see, many things. I can talk to you. There is nothing which prevents Balia to become an important center. It used to be very, very important center. It used to be like Honorable Chief Minister said, this Guwahati used to be such an important place. But it lost its scene in the 30 to 40 years of all that insurgency happen. Otherwise, anybody wanting to do some good business will either go to Guwahati or go to Bombay. There are two important places in the country. That Guwahati lost all its scenes, but Guwahati needs to come back. It has that potential. Because you can see it's only the sine curve. The sine curve depending on where you are. If you are at the bottom, now is the time to go up. And Mr. Hemanta Mishra Sharma is here to take it up. That's what he said in the morning. And you can see this. See, couple of questions on innovation and sustainability. Sustainability, as I said, what is sustainability? I mean, you do something as a sub-division magistrate, you come back as a collector, you will find the same thing. As a commissioner, you will find as a principal secretary, as a chief secretary. Next 30 years, 50 years, 70 years, make people the stakeholders. It is not your program. Anonymity. It is not your program, it's the people's program. When you are doing things for them and not for you, not that it gives you up. And if you start, there are people who want to have this in the newspapers, big highlights, big names, photographs, this, that. No, you are doing it for them. Rest will automatically follow. When the people become stakeholders, this becomes sustainable. When the design is sustainability is in terms of acceptability, people will continue. They will take all necessary action so that even after you leave, there will be enough pressure. I mean, I only had a tenure of 9 months as a vice chairman of ADA. My successor came and for next 6 months, he was in the great fear. Everybody was talking about me. But the people's pressure was so much that he had to take all this what he done and many things which I had initiated. They will all complete. In fact, I find in the government, those who are initiators, they require big courage, big guts. Amrit Kaal requires you to be persons with guts and courage. To take the risk. It is no more status quo administrator. ऐसा हो रहा है चलने दो, हमारा भी समय गुजारने दो. If you are a person of that kind, maybe you will lead the life for next 3 to 3.5 decades. But end of it, you will find you test yourself, you assess yourself. At least in your own eyes, you will find that you could have done something better. Let that feeling not come. I could have done it better. Let's do it when iron is hot, when you are in the responsibility. Do that. That is the Amrit Kaal which is expected from you. Innovations, I don't need to elaborate. Innovation, as in the morning I said, even if you can change your room, that's your innovation. Innovation means changing the way things happen. And my focus, I mean, let me tell you, my focus as a secretary to Government of India, as a chief secretary, is reducing the cost. Innovation in terms of making things affordable. Reducing the cost. Innovation in making things accessible to everybody. How this can become, this is citizen citizen. How people becomes the main stakeholder, that's your innovation. I mean, what is that which you can do so that it will sustain? I mean, bring that life, bring that energy through its own energy, self-energy, and many examples. I can quote you many examples through which this is possible. Sustainability is that. Sustainability in terms of environment also. Is it going to damage the environment? What is that you are doing so that it doesn't damage the environment? What is a counter thing which you have done so that it doesn't damage the environment? Horizontal versus vertical. I am a proponent of the vertical. In fact, vertical development is going to see in the city like Shanghai, see in city New York, various cities. FSI, FSR, whatever you may say, this FSI is something like 20 to 24. In our country, beyond 4, people don't think of going beyond 4. In fact, normal FSI followed is 2 to 2.5, 1.5 to 2.5. I am a strong proponent of that, but I think it takes time to get the good idea, but the good idea is going to come. Because the land space is becoming difficult. Many states, like in my state, we have given, we may go up to 6 or so. We are progressing in this direction. It takes time because see, when you go vertical, advantage is cost of infrastructure goes down, construction infrastructure goes down. Maintenance become easier, but technology and other challenges are there. We need to align with that. It will take time. I mean, currently The country follows 4 to 6. Even Ahmedabad, they have gone for 6 or 7 also in Ahmedabad city development. In the rural area, the gentleman there. When I say this urban area, urban focus of 7 days, I mean, this doesn't mean that rural area is not important. In fact, I told you, rural area is required, the development of rural area is required for our survival. You can have best machines, but you have to eat. You have to drink. You need to have a cloth. This cotton will be grown in the rural area, not in the urban area. The fruits and vegetables and cereals, they will be grown in the rural area. The focus is, you see, the agriculture is transforming. Agriculture is transforming. If you are following the development in the country. Now this last budget speech by the finance minister, the budget speech. Have you heard about the digital agriculture? That is happening. In my state of Uttar Pradesh, we are working on getting each and every plot digital signature. That is your GIS lat long. Every plot, so that I can predict. I know that what is the fertility of this thing. What is the what kind of seed will go. What kind of fertilizers required. Everything. If there is a disaster, how much of damage? Each and every plot. The digital agriculture. Saving on water. Each drop, more crops. New practices in agriculture, the natural farming, many things which are going on. But at the same time, reducing the burden on the agriculture. The human man, ultimately, you see this across the globe. This is not Indian phenomenon. This is across the globe. Those who have urbanized, the economy has grown very fast. Till you remain the rural economy, the growth is going to be limited. It's not going to be that high. So taking a higher trajectory requires urbanization. When you see the path, work on the urbanization, this doesn't mean that there is less focus on rural. Rural is in the strong focus. But now this urban has also started getting the focus because people are migrating. And if you don't have that focus, I showed you some of the slides. The challenges of congestion, pollution, accidents, quality of life, all these challenges. You saw that how people were moving from urban to the rural area during this COVID challenge. Why? Because of those challenges. And we have to make sure that urban area become more livable because these are the centers of engines of economic growth. They'll provide the engines for economic growth. So it doesn't mean that, in fact, the rural-urban gets connected. Rural becomes the supplier of the urban, which is processed. The food is processed. Normally we were into the primary economy, the primary to the secondary economy. We become manufacturers. The same people who are growing, less number of people are growing and other people are processing, transporting, distributing. Providing a better quality of life to the citizens. So please don't be under any confusion that rural is not important. Rural is extremely important, but urban getting a focus to that, it doesn't lead to that big challenges. And you also know about the Pura. I think you must have studied in your civil services examination. How the motivation remains even under difficulty. I've faced many difficulties. The focus is clear. I'm a public servant. I have to do my best. We need to, this political system you have to understand. This is a political democracy, political system. You had all the options in the world to do anything. Like as an IIT, I had all the options in the world. I could have gone to best of the universities in the world. I could have done anything in the multinational or done anything. But choice of the civil service was my own personal choice. And I have to live the requirements of the public service. And we are all blessed to be part of the service when the country is transforming into taking it. It's not a leap forward, it's a complete transformation. The country is transforming and you are going to be the vehicle for that kind of a transformation. You should feel blessed that you are born in the public service at the right time, in the right place, and you should go and make that big difference to the Amrit Kaal. Thank you.